Welcome back to another week of Instigating with Clarkey and Drury. I'm Drury, that is Clarkey, and we are very excited to be joined by a very special guest, a good friend of the show, and a guy who's a legend in many different places, all right? Let's start with here. Obviously, this guy's a Northern Ontario boy, the pride of Sundridge, Ontario, and he came down south and became the pride of Listowel, Ontario. This guy for a long time, till that Holden Lansink guy broke his record, was the all-time points leader for the Listowel Cyclones. Everybody here will remember him, and of course, he's the franchise leader in games played for the Macon Mayhem. My friend and yours, Caleb Cameron, is back on the show. Cameron, what's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys having me on. Excited to be here.
Now, we have another thing to announce, though, because that's a lot of titles. It's a lot of very special titles. But you're now another special title, and that's the head coach of the Wesleyan Wolves women's team. So tell us a little bit about this. You're going to be coaching some college hockey down there and kind of helping to kind of grow the profile of the game down there. What's up?
Yeah, so, an opportunity came about. The president of Wesleyan College down here in Macon, Georgia, is actually from Strathroy area.
Wow.
So I met her husband a few years ago. He had volunteered a little bit of his time with the Mayhem while I was playing, and we started up a youth program with the Mayhem. It was called the Macon Gators, and now it's turned into the Mini Mayhem. But with the Macon Gators, he was volunteering his time. Him and I became really close. They're from Canada, so I was playing, some pickup hockey with him over the years. And lo and behold, after retiring, they came up with an idea. I was actually looking to get my master's for my teaching because I'm now a teacher at a middle school in Macon. And down here in the States, in order to continue teaching, you need to get certified. You can do that through a master's program. And because I had my bachelor already, I decided, let's try and get a master's here somewhere. They came to me and said, "Hey, we'll make you a deal here. You coach our team, and maybe we can work with you on a master's." So one of those things where it works out for me, and for me. My mom played, hockey growing up, and she was an unbelievable hockey player. Played on the same team as Angela James, first ever woman to get inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Played Seneca College, played with a ton of great women, that eventually went on to play Team Canada. Very many strong women in my life, and now, met my wife down here. We have, my son Charlie, and then my daughter, who's now 2, Blake. So just finding something that's not only growing the game in the South here, but also growing it for women and empowering women is everything I'm about. And doing something that, is going to show my daughter now that, women can do anything that boys and men can do. So very excited for the opportunity and very honored to grow the game down here. And with the Wolves, we're looking to play next season, and we're actively recruiting. So, I've reached out to a ton of different organizations in Southwestern Ontario and all over Ontario. But we're looking for, girls that, maybe didn't make or didn't get recruited by a Division I team and maybe slipped through from Division III. And, we're in the ACHA College Hockey South. We are able to treat, even though it's club hockey, we're able to treat these girls as if it's a Division III or Division I program. So we've got all the bells and whistles that, everyone's looking for. And who can, this is kind of the reason I stayed in the South for 5 years and played professional hockey, but who can beat, getting on the ice for 2 hours for practice and going out to 90 degree to 100 degree weather and, going and getting a tan or going sitting by the pool, while doing your studies. So it's a definitely cool experience. So all the Northerners, that's really our selling point, and we're excited to promote the game of hockey down here further.
And you're sporting the new logo there on your hoodie. Let's see it.
Yeah, this is our Wesleyan Wolves.
Stuff.
The wolf with the helmet. Yeah, we're very excited about it. So, we're purple and white. The gear is actually really very modern. It's that sleek look. Our gloves are the purple with the silver and the bright orange, actually. So it's kind of in your face. Every time I'm out on the ice with, whether it be drop-in guys or even some of the Mayhem saw me on the ice, the first thing they saw was dang, those are pretty sweet gloves. Where can we get some? So I think the girls are going to be excited. Not many girls as well. Having purple as their color, their team color is something that not a lot of girls get to see. So just having a girl, an empowering color like that is everything for them.
And you say you're recruiting now. Where do you look anywhere in the world for these girls?
Yeah. So we actually just had a recruitment camp last week, which was really exciting. First time, we were ever able to have any girls on the ice. And the nice thing with us is, as opposed to other colleges, and a little bit about College Hockey South, we play all, Georgia Bulldogs, all these big SEC football programs. So Georgia Bulldogs, Alabama has a team, Auburn has a team, Georgia Southern, Miami, basically that eastern seaboard down in the south here. That's all the teams we're going to be playing against. But for us, we play out of the Coliseum where the Macon Mayhem play. Most of the other teams are having to travel for their home rinks. We are going to have our own home rink, our whole one side of the arena, so they're going to be treated like queens, we'll put it. The Mayhem will be the kings, we'll be the queens, and we're very excited. So but we recruit all over the world. We had our recruiting skate last week. We had a girl from Texas, we had 2 girls from Georgia, about 4 or 5 from Florida. We're talking to a goalie from Alaska. There was a girl from Sweden or Norway that I believe we were talking to, and then again recruiting all over Canada. So anywhere in the world that a girl had the admiration and aspirations to play Division I hockey, and maybe it just didn't work out, well, if we can pick them from the Division III ranks and stuff like that, then that's who we're looking for. Because ultimately, just like boys hockey, the goal is to play in the NHL, right? So for the girls, the goal is to play Division I hockey. If that doesn't work out, we're sitting there waiting to give them an opportunity to continue playing college hockey.
Did your bracket get busted when Georgia lost to Gonzaga, or what?
Funny enough, I have been so busy, I didn't even do a March Madness bracket. That's how busy I've been lately.
Drury, you'd be surprised, Drury. I'm in one. No, I'm not doing great.
I can't believe that. Yeah, you're not doing great.
Yeah. I picked Gonzaga, though.
Surprise me.
Now, I will say I was not very happy because I married into a Georgia Bulldogs football family, so I was not very happy with the season we had this past season.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. We don't have to talk about that.
Yep. There's always next year. As Leaf fans, we can always say there's always.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. As a Leafs fan, I understood what was happening.
Exactly.
Let's transition to that. And I mean, it's great to hear about the team and that you guys are going to have a great home rink. And I mean, you're going to be like playing out of the Macon Mayhem Arena too. I mean, I figured you just had like a lifetime key to the rink already. The all-time franchise leader. You probably they probably have like a couch in there for you already, just like a lifetime office seat.
I wish they the nickname is now since my 3rd or 4th year they started calling me the mayor. So
that's
and they
what
always
I'm
joke
saying.
Around about the key to the city, but
yes,
no, it's cool, man. Like just that's what we said about the recruiting skate. And funny enough, the school that I teach at now, we did a PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Strategies. It's a program where we reward kids at school, and we actually took 300 students last week on my birthday, actually on Thursday, to a Mayhem school day game. There was 6,000 kids in there.
Wow.
Screaming, and to have on my birthday, let alone to have 300 students from our school who look up to me as a PE teacher and coach, with my jersey hanging in the rafters was pretty special, right? Like just having those kids, really it hit home for them that like, hey, this is my teacher, this is what he did, maybe this is what I can do one day, and really be looked up to like that was very special for me. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Maybe not the couch, but just that experience of having kids that you're with every day. And a lot of the kids I work with every day are inner city kids that come from nothing, and for them to just have a positive role model in their life to look up to like that it was pretty special. So yeah.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, I know it was your birthday recently. I shot you a little happy. I mean, you don't look a day over 25. You're still looking pretty young over
that.
There. Yeah,
I appreciate that. I'm feeling way older than 32. We'll put it that way.
Well, listen, and I want to tell you this as well as we transition, obviously, to talking about your and Clarkey's Maple Leafs. I want to say a couple of things. First of all, your mustache is better than Austin Matthews. You got to teach that guy how to grow a stash properly. And two, you should probably have a key to the city of Macon. And if your boy Austin ever wins a cup, he'll get more than a key to the city of Toronto. They might just like give him the CN Tower for his backyard, but they got to do it first. And as a coach, a guy that knows the game intimately, a star player, what are you seeing from your Leafs right now? Because the last week and a bit, it's been up and down, really since the Four Nations. How are you feeling about the way they're playing? And is there one area specifically that you would be trying to change as a coach?
I don't really know if I'd be changing much. If I'm being honest, I really liked the additions that they made at trade deadline, bringing in a guy like Brando Carlo. Like a guy like that, to add him and bolster the defense with, your Tanev, your Chris Tanev, like those kind of guys. I feel like that's what we've been missing over the years on our D line is the guys that are willing to risk it all and sacrifice their body. I feel like the Leafs MO has always been, offensively, we're studs, but we're too soft when it comes to, when push comes to shove, we're too soft. But I really think the past week here, and I'm only saying this because I have Anthony Stolars in net on my fantasy hockey team, is just like the inconsistency because they, him and Wool, obviously Stolars got hurt, but him and Wool went on a run where they were unstoppable. And now I feel like we're kind of letting it, maybe we're, taking the foot off the gas a little. And I feel like at times that's where we as Leafs fans get down on ourselves because we know playoffs are right around the corner. So I really don't know if I'd change much other than it's just time to really buckle in because you see your teams like, the Washington Capitals and, all the other teams that are lower in the standings starting to make their push towards the playoffs. And the Leafs really, I think, just need to buckle down.
We've talked a lot of this show, Ryan and I have anyway, about the power play and how I wasn't happy with this power play. I'm a kind of guy who likes just roll the lines, put a couple D out there, at least one. But this power play has caught fire. I think they're top 5 or 6 in the league now.
They're sixth now, yeah.
Sixth now. Another power play goal on Tuesday night with William Nylander against the Flyers. So they are still red hot on the power play. Do you like the look of this power play with 5 forwards out there?
Yeah, I mean, when it's working, it's working. You don't mess with it. Wayne Gretzky said it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And the guys that are on that power play are the guys that the second the puck is on their stick, they're shooting the puck on net. And it's your best players. There's no point, why change something that's working? And I think, we spoke about Listowel earlier. When I was in Listowel, our power play was always one of the number 1 power plays in the league. And it, in most cases, if it wasn't Mac Nickel, on the 1 power play, we normally had 5 forwards on our first line power play. And it was either myself or one of my good buddies, Scott Pawson. That was actually, he's from North Bay, Ontario. He was our defenseman up top, basically. So, I think forwards see things differently than some D at times. And I think, when with the Leafs, with their front, how can you put another D back there?
I want to talk about a couple of specific players. And one guy who I think has immensely helped the power play by getting in front of the net, getting in those dirty areas, screening the goaltender, Matthew Knies. This guy has really turned out to be quite a player, hasn't he?
Yeah, unbelievable. Just like knowing what he was in college and then coming in. And I think a lot of people thought he was going to do better his rookie year, but I think I'd rather see someone slowly progress over the years and get to that player that we're hoping for than a typical Toronto player, have a stellar rookie year and then fall off, right? So I know I keep throwing daggers at my team.
That's okay.
But it really is a nice change to see because, I think the one thing that really impressed me with him is you have a guy that can score, the most beautiful goal out there. And then you see him get in a fight and absolutely beat the wheels off a guy, which is something just kudos to him. That's the grit that, a lot of skilled players in the NHL don't have anymore. You look at Matthews, he's a skilled player. He doesn't need to fight. if it push came to shove, do I think he'd fight? I really don't know. But seeing Nyes do that, I commend him for sure.
And one other guy, last year of his contract, having a great season, leads a lot, not leads, but he's in the top of a lot of categories. John Tavares, the former captain now, not the captain, but the assistant captain. First of all, do you think that has helped him this year? And what do you think of his game now going into free agency?
I don't know. I don't know if it's helped him. Maybe it's taken a little pressure off, but I think at that level, even though Matthews has the C, I think Tavares is still looked at as a
leader,
captain, still like a secondary C. Just with that age and stuff like that, I think it would have been the same. When I was playing, if I didn't have the C on, even though I was one of the older guys, played so many years, they're still looking up to you as you're wearing the C. So, do I think it's taking a little pressure off? Maybe. Maybe more of the pressure has been put on Austin, and I really think Tavares is just really honed in on doing the things the right way when he has the puck and not trying to overcompensate or do anything too special. I feel like when he first came to Toronto, that was something. I mean, he had some great years when he first got to Toronto, but that was something always he was double clutching the puck and overthinking the game. And I think when you're put into a situation where he came from New York and was kind of thrown to the wolves right away, especially with them giving him the C. I just think that's where you're overthinking the game. You're not letting it come to you. You're always one step ahead, trying to do something extra special. So,
would you re-sign him?
Probably not at his age. I think he's. I think
at
he's
any
doing
number.
Great.
I'm not talking about the same number, but is there a number where you?
I think if he's willing to take. I think if he's willing to take a little bit less. I don't know what the number would be. What's he at right now?
11.
Yeah. So if you're
would you sign him at 5?
Yes, in a heartbeat.
Interesting. I know a guy who wouldn't.
Yeah, that's me. I wouldn't bring him back. I've said numerous times on the show I wouldn't bring him back at any price because I just feel like there's guys that they can get who are going to be more effective players for longer. Maybe
at
not
$5
that
million?
first year. Yeah, I do. Or for more.
Who at $5 million?
Well, I mean, look at the guys that are going to be hitting free agency this year, and you look at guys that are down their lineup like Sam Bennett that could come in and be younger and play a little bit more of a gritty game. Like, I'd
rather have John Tavares and Sam Bennett than Mitch Marner. I really would.
Yeah, see, I don't know about that. There's the other side of the coin. Like I guess my point is I'd be scared to give him term. It's not so much the dollars, it's the term that he'd maybe want to be looking for. Like I wouldn't want to give John Tavares 4 years.
No, because he's going to try and retire. He's going to try and retire there, and then at the after 2 years, who knows what happens with him.
That's kind of what I'm saying, Cameron. I don't know. It makes me nervous, and I think that there's a lot of guys under 30 that are going to hit free agency that they could go after. But that's the other side of the coin here. I mean, we know the cap's going to be going up consistently over the next 3 years, and Mitch Marner is the guy that even more so plays into it, and he's having another great regular season. We will see what the playoffs yield. What is your feeling on him?
On Marner? I've never been a huge Marner fan, mainly because I guess I'm just an old school Leafs fan where, when it gets to the playoffs, it's just straight battle hockey. And I don't think he fits that persona. Why do you think the Bostons, the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightnings win? Because they have their skilled guys that even when push comes to shove, they're willing to get dirty. And I don't know if he's one of those guys that is willing to do anything it takes. I really don't. You look at the Panthers team last year. I mean, I'm going to say his name because I grew up playing against him, but Brandon Montour. I mean, one of the most skilled defensemen I ever played against in my life. And when push comes to shove and there's a line brawl, he's jumping in there and going after guys. And that's a guy that you would never expect to fight, especially on a Florida team. But they did it. And if you have guys buying in like that, I see Marner as one of those guys that the second there's a line brawl, he's going in with his stick swinging, not his fist flying.
He's running the other way.
Or that, yeah.
I don't disagree, and I mean it's a valid concern and a valid
Drury, how many years have we done this show?
A long time, man. This is
And
like
how many years
season
have I said
4.
the same thing?
Yeah, I've said it too, dude. It's one of those things where they're going to have to make a serious decision. Do they want to give this guy all the bank in the world again? Because they already did that once.
Well,
And have him making more money than guys like Rantanen and Kucherov. Because, I mean, remember, Kucherov signed that deal for $9.5 a year, and Marner signed right after that at $10.9 or whatever he's at. And I said that was crazy at the time, Clarkey. I was irate that he got that much money. Like, at that time, getting more than Kucherov, I was blown away. Do they want to walk away from all the skill and the points and the good things that he does do out there and try and go in another direction?
Again, this regular season doesn't mean anything.
No,
It's how he's going to show up.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing is you stop looking at how your team is regular season and start building for the post. You can't build for the regular season anymore. We've shown that the past 5 years we can make the top 3 in the Atlantic, but we're always going to play against the Florida, the Bostons, or the Tampa Bays. Not Boston this year, obviously, but in recent years, and we do not match up against those teams because we are not tough enough.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where Marner is a guy where I feel like he could do with a scenery change, only in that when you look at the Leafs and the balance of power offensively, let's say they bring Tavares back, but the big 2 guys that they've ponied up and said, you're our guys, are Matthews and Willie. Like, those guys aren't going anywhere for a long, long time. Matthews' highest paid player in the league right now. He won't be for long, but he is. And Willie's got 8 years.
Yeah.
So,
and he's had a good year, 39 goals as we speak, and
he's had a very good year. But you look,
and he shows
balance,
up in the playoffs. Anyway, go ahead.
Generally, he does. You look at the makeup of their roster and go, do the Leafs? Because I hear the Marner apologists. Maybe that's too strong a word. The fans of Marner that say, well, how are they going to replace what he does? Well, you can get guys that still score points, maybe not 90 plus, and do other things effectively when you get to the playoffs. That's the whole thing. Like, this might sound crazy to people. And I'm only speaking coming from the roster of my favorite team, because Marner could go to a place where a team is bereft of talent and needs the talent guy and come in. But me personally, I'm just saying, in a playoff series, I'm glad I got Tom Wilson going into the corner and not Mitch Marner.
For sure.
Crazy you're saying that, because I was just going to say that because I know it's your team, and I was going to say I wish for the past 5 years we have had Tom Wilson, a guy like Tom Wilson on our team, because that's a guy that you want in your corner every time. Or like a Brad Marchand. I know Tom Wilson. I'd way rather have Tom Wilson than a Brad Marchand. But like a guy like that, or a Sam Bennett, another guy I read, I can't remember if it was on Twitter or whatever, but talking about the Leafs going after Nazem Kadri and bringing him back to Toronto.
We had him.
He made too many people upset, I guess, and then
he got suspended too many times when it counted.
I know
that was his problem. But he's the guy who
Wilson gets
your head's
suspended.
on a swivel when he's out there, and that's what they need.
That's what they need. You're always looking over your shoulder.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Tom Wilson got suspended during this cup run. He got suspended for taking poor Zach Aston Reese's jaw off. He really went through that poor kid's head. But he came back and he scored in the cup final, and he scored against Tampa, and he's a 30-goal scorer this year. It's just a freak of a man. When the playoffs, that's the thing. People that look at the points, when people just look at players' points, it always kind of makes me go, how many games do you watch, or do you just monitor your fantasy hockey team? Because points are fun. Points are nice. We all like points. Love points.
Yeah.
But that's not definitive of what's going to get things done in a playoff game, let alone help you win a Stanley Cup. You got to have big guys get their points. You got to have your big dogs eat. But it would help, though, if those big dogs also had a bit of snarl to their game.
Yeah,
and
it would help.
I don't know if any of these Leafs guys do, to be honest with you. I would love it if Matthews exploded one night and did get in a fight.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for him.
He's got to stop laughing if a guy grabs him.
I think it would be good for him, yeah.
I would love to see him get a game misconduct and beat the wheels off somebody. He's a big guy. Ovi did it. Sid did it.
He did.
I'm not
Yeah, he
telling
hasn't
the
done
guy
it in
to
the
go
playoffs.
out
He
and
got. He
fight.
has a mean streak in him. He's just got to show it more.
I'm not telling him to go out and fight.
Like who
I
was
just-
it with Buffalo? He cross-jacked and
Darlene, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like-
would like to see a little more of that. If a guy
Yes.
gives him a push in a
Yes.
scrum, punch him back.
Exactly.
Take a penalty.
It's just a fight back mentality.
Right.
Yes, that's what I mean. And I feel
Winner's
like
mentality, some would say.
absolutely it is. Like you're not taking advantage of me.
And it's funny. It's funny because I feel like this day and age of hockey player is definitely gotten away from that. I definitely noticed it later on in my career. You know, we used to use it all the time. Like some guys would come into the locker room and they'd expect the world without having to work for it already. And we used to say, you know, some of these kids are spoon fed nowadays in hockey. I mean, you know, they can do all the tricks with their stick and dipsy doodle around guys, but then the second the puck goes in the corner, well, who's winning the battle? It's the men, right? So
Yeah.
and that's what the Leafs need once it comes to the playoffs. They need to man up and get to work.
Yep.
I think so too. Cameron, before we let you go, I want to ask you, the Leafs right now, as we chat, they're right there in the battle for winning the division, something that they've really never really done throughout their history. They have 2 division titles. One of those was the goofy Canadian division that we had to do during COVID. Like they don't really do that much, but if they did and they were the top seed, of the teams that are in this bunch up in the wild card race, your Ottawas, your Montreals, Islanders, Columbus, who have fallen back a little bit, is there a team in that bunch, Detroit as well? Is there a team in that bunch that stands out to you where you're like, I would love it if the Leafs could play them? Not for entertainment value, because we'd all say Ottawa or Montreal, but just that I think the Leafs could beat that team maybe in 4 or 5 and elevate into the next round. Yeah,
for me, it's Montreal. And the only reason I say that is because when it comes to playoffs, it's a totally different monster. You look at your Islanders who have, you know, I go straight to the goalie. And Montreal is so young in net that I think that's where you take advantage. You know, a lot of those guys like Montembeault has never been in that position. I know he was on, you know, the World Cup roster and stuff like that. But you look at Ottawa, Allmark's a little bit older of a goalie. He's been in Boston, been there, done that kind of thing. Islanders, you've got the Varlamov and Sorokin. Sorokin, you know, older than Montembeault anyways, but just the roster in general you look at is a little bit older. So Montreal, if I'm a betting man, I would love the Leafs to match up against Montreal. You know, this is gonna be a hot take, but the Leafs are gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Final this year. I don't know what's going to happen yet past that, but I know they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Final. So you heard it here first.
Against 2.
I think. Oh God.
Cameron, don't do this to me.
Who's on?
Yeah. Washington, Carolina, New Jersey.
Just say what I want to hear, Cameron.
I think it's going to be Washington or Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine?
I really
if it was
do.
New Jersey. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That would be really strange, and that would be a kudos to New Jersey.
Unfortunately, Markstrom in New Jersey's he's kind of been doing what Stolarz has been doing lately, and I just feel like Washington right now on that side and Carolina are the strongest teams. Carolina is one of those teams, like, how do you bet against them? But I mean, Washington's just, you know, that consistent team in the East that's been doing well lately.
Well, I might need you on my side
for
the shows during that series. Okay, so
if that happens, that would be electric stuff. I would be
I'll stay on speed dial,
Clarkey.
Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely. Well, Cameron, dude, it's great to have you back on. I'm glad you're doing well. Happy belated birthday on the show here, and of course, congrats on your new gig. You're going to do great down there. I'm not surprised. You've always given a lot of your time back to the game. I know the game's been good to you, and you're being really good back to the game. So I and everybody in the hockey world really appreciate what you're doing out there, brother. Congrats.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And lastly, Go Canada. That was a big win over the U.S. because I know there's going to be a
Let's
bunch
go.
of Americans listening to this show.
Let's go. Let's go. We're
Exactly.
not sorry, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
And someday soon, Cameron, we're going to get you back up here, and you and I are going to go to an Alexis on Fire concert, all right? How about that? Let's go.
Deal.
Come
And
on,
some
let's
Rickards
go.
Red. And some Rickards Red.
Rickards Red, only band ever. Let's go. Cameron, thanks so much for doing this, brother.
Hey, boys.
All right, we'll be right back. When we come back, a lot of hockey talk right there. But when we come back, Clarkey and I are going to preview the baseball season. It's opening week in Major League Baseball. I got some predictions, including on division winners, next here on Instigating. Welcome back to Instigating with Clarkey and Drury. Lots of Leafs chatter. And of course, Clarkey.
Yeah.
That's appropriate. I mean, the playoffs are not far away, but you know what else is right on deck as we record this? Very exciting. I know you're not necessarily excited.
About what?
And we'll have to bring you back around about opening day in baseball.
Well, hold on. I watched a game last week.
Congratulations. That's great. What game did you watch?
I don't know, Dodgers and no, it was
Oh, you watched the Japan series game?
On. The season started a week ago.
They did those special Japan games, which was really cool.
It's cool, but it just I don't know.
Well,
I don't think you should be playing Major League Baseball games while other teams are still playing spring training games.
I understand that. It's just more of the trip factor because the guys have to get completely readjusted to time zone, right? We're talking other side of the world here, right?
Yeah.
And
playing baseball is very strenuous. I get it.
It is.
It is not, Drury. It is not.
Clarkey, if I put you at DH, you wouldn't make it 10 games into the season without being like, I have to stop.
Why?
Because
4 at-bats a day? That's all I would... Dude, you are ridiculous. Baseball is the easiest sport ever.
What?
To play and to succeed.
Dude.
I'm just saying on your body. It is so. What's easier?
You're killing me right now, dude.
What's easier?
That's crazy.
Hockey?
162
Basketball?
games. No, hockey's not easier.
Basketball? Football?
I would argue basketball. That's a coin toss.
And by the way, soccer. By the way, I don't want to disparage my Canadian Football League, but there was like a quarter of the fans that would show up at an Argo game at that Canada-U.S. bronze medal game.
That was in the United States.
It was in Inglewood, California.
It was in the United States,
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know.
This is for like the bronze medal here. Canada-U.S.
The Nations League, yeah.
And
we won.
CONCACAF Nations League.
Yes.
Get it right, Drury, when you're talking about my sport.
Well, I'm a soccer fan, and most footy people out there, when I say Nations League, they just know it's CONCACAF, okay? I don't have to say the NHL
I think
Stanley
soccer
Cup
is
playoffs.
dying. I really do. With that
In the
many
United
people.
States, I don't know about that because of the amount of people that are down there.
The other thing, too, is not to get political, but should the World Cup really be in the United States?
I don't know, dude.
I don't either. Anyway, let's get back to baseball.
You're killing me here.
I want to bring something. I want to start with something, okay? Adam,
Please.
bring it in. This is the new banner they're going to be hanging at Grapefruit League champions. They're going to hang this at the Sky Dome. The Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays are the 2025 Grapefruit League champions. Fox Sports put out a great banner. The Jays are thrilled. Oh boy. They're not going to do anything, man.
Here's the thing about that.
And here's the thing according to Drury.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Jonas. No, it's going to be interesting because the way that the division is shaking out right now, they might have an opportunity. They got to get off to a good start. And I know we're asking for an awful lot of our least favorite term here in Jays land, and that's internal improvement. And Dalton Varshaw's not going to.
And Kirk signed. They must be proud of
Kirk. A long-term deal.
Yeah, why not?
Out of the Blue Jays, shocking development. $58 million over 5 years, I believe it is. Might be 6. They need that guy in particular to have a huge bounce back to what he was 2 years ago.
Well, they don't have Moreno, so yeah, they need him for sure.
Then they're going to need Vlad to just be Vlad, if not slightly improve on last year's numbers.
They need Vlad to be Vlad of last year.
Yes.
Because Vlad's had some down years, let's be honest. They need Vlad to be back to where he was last year.
And the great thing about Vlad's down years is this. He is twofold. He's 26, and his down years are all 20-plus homers.
Yeah.
If you can pencil a guy and say, that was a disappointing year, and he had 20-plus home runs in those
like
years.
Austin Matthews this year. It's a disappointing year. He still might get 30 goals.
Pretty similar. It's just that he got his pay already. He already got his big contract.
Yeah.
That all said, that's kind of my point, Clarkey, is that like, it's a down year. Most major leaguers would love to have a year like that. Now, that's neither here nor there because you're asking for big money. But their pitching staff, people are raving about this bullpen.
Okay.
I'll see it. You'll
believe it when you see it?
I'll see it when I believe it. Yep.
That too. Same thing.
But the rotation, like it would almost be difficult for them to be worse than they were last year. And I love Kevin Gausman. That splitter's going to be dancing. Barrios, opening day starter again.
There he goes.
People will have seen how he did when the show comes out. Obviously, we're doing this before real opening day.
What day is opening day?
It's
Thursday.
It was yesterday. It was Thursday. Yesterday when the show comes out.
Thursday. Yes.
Thursday is opening day. Jays Orioles, and that's Orioles are gonna have. Man, they got some great kids coming. My point is, there's going to be a lot of different baseball stories coming around, and I have some feelings on how the season might shake out, Clarkey. And I know that.
Who's your division winners? Let's go through.
Okay, well, where do you want to start?
Start the AL East. Let's go.
Yeah, the AL East. You know what? I feel good about Baltimore. I don't feel great about Baltimore. This division is very up in the air. It might be the most, coin flip one next to another AL division, but I like Baltimore. I wouldn't be shocked if all these things go right for the Jays. Guys, I know I've been more critical of the Jays than almost anybody over the last little while, especially if you watch this show. You know how I feel about what's going on over there. If these things do happen, though, and Bo is healthy and bounces back, and Kirk, they could sneak in there. The Yankees are beat up. Giancarlo Stanton's hurt. There's their DH. That's a lot of pop out of their lineup. Bellinger comes in to replace Soto. That's not a like-for-like replacement as much as I love Belly. And, Garrett Cole, the monster at the top of their rotation, is out for the year. Luis Heel is going to be out for a long time. I don't love the Red Sox. I don't think they did enough. I like some of their young talent. The Rays... the Rays will win the division. They'll turn around and they'll have 6 prospects no one's ever heard of, and they'll turn.
And no one will know. Baltimore, and no one will have heard of them in Tampa after the season.
Exactly, or there'll be guys that they traded that got in trades like they usually do, and they'll turn into superstars
because no one watches
exactly.
Them.
And that stadium debacle down there is a joke. I like Baltimore for the AL East. I like Baltimore. Don't be shocked, though, if the Jays do pull something miraculous off with like a 92-win season. Give me Baltimore.
Is Tampa playing? Yeah, they're not playing in the Dome. Where are they playing?
I actually don't know. They are going to play in the Dome because they're going to repair it.
Oh, I thought they were. Okay.
But they're playing.
That's how much we know about baseball.
I think they're playing in their Grapefruit League stadium for now.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And they might fill that up.
Yeah.
Depending on
how
much it holds. Because their stadium, the Dome, was ripped apart in that hurricane.
In the hurricane, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, maybe producer Adam can get to the bottom of that for us.
Baltimore. Give me Baltimore for the AL East.
Baltimore Orioles, eh? Wow. The Yankees are going to win. I know they're going through some hurt, and there's some guys gone for a long time, but
they easily could. Because people forget the Yankees are like the Dodgers. They have the money for a big farm system, and they got some kids. I like that Yasson Dominguez kid. Like, they got some kids coming too. Yeah. Volpe will continue to improve. Who knows? I like Baltimore.
Okay, let's go east to west. Let's go next to the Central.
Yeah, this is a tough one, right? Because Cleveland has kind of had their way with this division over the last little while, but the Kansas City Royals are coming, led by who I believe is going to be the next face of baseball, Bobby Witt Jr. And then you got those Tigers that snuck in there last year and did some incredible things, making that playoff run after selling at the deadline. Tarek Skubal's back, arguably the best pitcher in baseball. He had a phenomenal year last year, and they got a bunch of young kids that are still working their way into the system. I like the Royals, though, and the biggest reason is their rotation. I like their rotation, and, Reagans and all those guys that are behind him. They've just got solid pitching, and I love their talent and their versatility all over the diamond, led by Bobby Witt Jr. and the old veteran in Salvi Perez. I think the Royals are going to win this division. If it's not them, Detroit is still in a good position to challenge, which is incredible given where they were the last couple of years. But give me the Royals for the Central.
And it's safe to say the White Sox will have another abysmal year.
I've heard people telling me that they're going to be worse, which is just unreal.
That is unreal.
It's a black hole, man. They got to trade Luis Robert or Robert.
We got get our friend George Hoffman on in Chicago one day and see.
We should, because polar opposite stories in the Windy City this year. Let me tell you, we should get George on.
Yeah. Okay, out to the West. What do you like in the West? Houston, Texas, Seattle, Oakland.
You mean Sacramento?
Sorry.
Sacramento / Las Vegas. You know what? I've heard a lot of people, a lot of prognosticators, and if you look on a lot of books right now, because I laid some bets earlier today on baseball futures, a lot of books are giving you good numbers on I keep going to say Oakland, on the Athletics winning this division. Look at the young talent that they got coming through there. Guys like Soderstrom and Galoff. Brent Rooker's already a star. Shea Langoliers is a dynamite catcher with a lot of power. I don't think they're good enough yet to win this division. You'd look at Houston and say, well, they're going to be weaker, losing guys like Bregman and, of course, the big Kyle Tucker trade with the Cubs, who we'll talk about in a little bit here. And Seattle, I don't know what to make of those guys. Last year was supposed to be a big gopher year for them, and they stumbled down the stretch. Give me the Astros again, simply because of the rotation that's available to them and the veteran savvy they still have there. I don't feel good about that one either, though, because the Rangers are looking for a big bounce back year, 2 years out from winning their first World Series. And apparently Jacob deGrom is healthy. And if Jacob deGrom is healthy, that's scary stuff for the rest of the division. I'm actually changing my answer. You know what? I've talked myself.
You're going to go to Texas.
I want Rangers.
The Rangers.
Marcus Semien, Corey Seager.
Yeah,
those guys can
I agree.
down
I think
there,
the Rangers Rangers are the team. And
I
hate the Rangers because of the going back to the Jose Bautista years and all that.
None of those guys are there anymore.
No, I know. But anyway.
It's a good driver. Yeah, give me the Rangers, though, actually, because DeGrom, Eovaldi, I like their rotation. I like their bullpen. I like their hitting lineup. Yeah, actually, give me the Rangers.
Give me the Rangers.
AL.
Okay, that wraps up the American League.
Yeah.
That we're changing to the Canadian League this year. Let's make that announcement right now.
Yes.
So now the National League. We're changing it. Yep, just put it on your map. The National League East, the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, Washington. No one's going to pick Washington.
See here, Washington, I like to be a wild card team.
I don't. They're going to be off.
Washington's got some great young talent coming through, man, and that organization's well run. And
mark this.
But yeah, Washington, lay a bet. Take $5 and throw it on Washington making the wild card. But I don't like them to win this division. This division, look at it, man. The Braves, Phillies, and Mets. You look at all three of those rosters, with all due respect to the Marlins, and you look at it and go, man, I could see on paper any of these three teams not only winning their division, but maybe winning the World Series. And I won't waste any time here because I'm confident in this. I like those Phillies, and I actually like the Phillies to win the whole darn thing.
Canadian manager, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
And it would be great to have him on here when they do that because the Phillies are going to win.
Okay.
I
tend to agree with
veteran. I love that lineup, and their pitching is scary good. They got the Lizard King up there now and Luzardo at the bottom of their order. I like the Phillies. The Mets, of course, made big spot. A lot of change. Uncle Steve throwing money around at our buddy Juan. But give me the Phillies to take the NL East.
Okay, now a team I watched already this year play a real game, the Chicago Cubs in the NL Central with the Brewers, the Reds, the Pirates, the Cardinals. Who do you like?
So the Cardinals are very much in a retooling mode here, that's to be with guys like Goldschmidt and they're aging. Yeah, Hall of Famer. He's walking in there. Arenado apparently still wants out. I think he will be traded in the season. Wouldn't actually be shocked if he ended up on the Yankees somehow to play third base.
Of course he will.
However, and this is the worst one for me because I'm a Cubs guy now. Everybody knows I took my fan talents to Wrigley.
You're not going to pick your Cubbies?
I am going to pick them, but it makes me nervous. I like the top of our rotation. There's some question marks in that bullpen that really let them down at times last year. I like the addition of Ryan Presley, a veteran closer from the Astros. And I love getting Kyle Tucker as well, because Kyle Tucker, quite frankly, is one of the best baseball players on the planet, and I love having him in the outfield with Seiya Suzuki and Pete Crow Armstrong. I like the top of the rotation with guys like Shota Imanaga and Justin Steele. I like my Cubs. The Brewers are going to be right there. And hey, don't blink and miss the Reds. They got some great young talent coming, led by Ellie De La Cruz. But I like my Cubbies. I do like my Cubbies. Yeah.
How good do you think Matt Shaw is going to be?
Yeah, Matt Shaw. I mean, everything you hear about this kid is that he has all the intangibles. They've let him start on the roster. He played both games in Japan at the hot corner. Looked spectacular. He looks like he can play third base. Hitting's going to be an adjustment for him. Like, this is a 23-year-old kid. I'm not expecting him to come in. It's a tough league.
It's such a grueling schedule.
Hitting in particular, like, he's got all the tools to steal bases, be a great fielder, and play a good third base. Hitting is going to be a challenge for him, and I'm not expecting him to hit 280 and bomb 15 home runs. But if he can just be better than like a 230, 235 hitter and play plus third base, the rest of this lineup should be able to insulate. Like, he'll be hitting in the 7-8 hole unless he takes the league by storm and proves he can hit right now. I like Matt Shaw. He's a great future piece. I think he can play third right now.
Yeah,
but his hitting is not something that we're going to be relying on, I think, in Cubs land. But I like them to win the division.
Is there a division that has already been determined more than the NL West with the Dodgers?
I don't think so, man. Like,
I don't think so,
the other ones you can make arguments. Like in the East, it's like I picked the Phillies. Why couldn't the Braves win with Chris Sale and Acuna healthy? Matt Olson, the big bomber. You know, the AL East, what a crapshoot that is, especially with the Yankee question marks. This one, like, the Padres would have to play absolutely out of their minds and have huge. Xander Bogaerts needs to get his head out of his you-know-what down there and earn some of that money. He was a nightmare for them at the plate anyway, early in the season. He had a nice second half. Tatis is unquestionably one of the most talented all-around players in the game. And then Machado, he's getting into that territory now where you're like, is this guy going to be healthy enough to start 120-plus games? The talent's there, and I like their pitching staff. But when you compare them, and I like the D-backs too. Arizona, they spent a lot of money and brought Corbin Burns in there. They got great young players. Jordan Lawler's on his way. But when you look at that Dodgers lineup, it's like, how on earth could you bet against a team that rolls out Mookie, Freddie, Shohei. And then you look down the lineup at the rest of like their role players, Chris Taylor, Kike Hernandez, guys like that were on that World Series team. I just look at the Dodgers. They spent a boatload of money on that Roki Sasaki kid to add him to Yamamoto and Glasnow. Like, that's a murderer's row in baseball on both sides of the ball. Their bullpen is worth more than some team's starting lineup. Pittsburgh. Yeah. So the real question with the NL West is, do the Dodgers win over 110 games? And I think they won't, but it'll be like 108. They're winning 100 plus games, the Dodgers.
All right, so
they're gross.
Let's go. American League champ. Who's in the World Series? AL champion, NL champion.
So I already said the Phillies. I mean, I think the Phillies win the World Series.
Yep. Okay.
And I think that they might end up facing the Kansas City Royals. Wow. I really do. Something about the Royals down there. It's the right kind of mix. Savvy veterans and Salvi Perez and guys like that. A really talented pitching staff and bullpen, and that young star power led by Bobby Witt. I think that I know some people are probably going, that's crazy, man. Tell me an AL team that you think is a shoo-in. It's not the Yankees.
There's no shoo-ins. I don't think there's any shoo-ins.
It's not Baltimore.
No, I think there's a dark horse who I'm going to go out on the limb and pick. Boston.
Let me have it.
Just a balanced team. Boston, LA in the World Series for me.
That'd be crazy, man. That would be crazy stuff. Mookie coming back to play the Sox.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be crazy. One of the worst trades in sports history.
Okay. Yeah. So now
that's who I think's in there.
Let's narrow it down to the MVP in the American League. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson. Like, there's a couple of guys who could do it. But
Gunnar, absolutely. He's got a little more power in his game than Bobby Witt. But I think Bobby Witt. Aaron Judge, he's like the easy pick. I like Bobby Witt, though. This is a young kid who's really stepping into his stride, showed out at the home run derby last year, almost won it. I think Bobby Witt is going to be a consistent 35 homer, 60-plus steal guy, 100-plus ribs. Like, I think that this guy, he could be, I don't know about this year. I'm telling you right now, Bobby Witt Jr. is winning a Triple Crown. I'm telling you right now,
Guerrero
Bobby Witt Jr.
Any hope?
Yes. I actually sprinkled $5 on him because I think I took him at like plus 1,400. I had to. $5 on that. Yeah. Yes, there's hope. We've seen Vlad almost do it. So, but no, Bobby Witt Jr., AL MVP.
NL MVP. Shohei, Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, Bryce Harper. Who do you pick? A lot of good guys out there. Mookie Betts.
I can't imagine a world right now where Shohei doesn't do it. Even if he takes a step back from the crazy year he had last year. Even if he takes a little step back, tell me who's going to be better than him. Shohei, again, like Judge on the other side, easy answer. I have to go Shohei. I also drafted him first overall this year.
Well, there you go.
If it's not Shohei, though, it could be a guy like Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
So, but I like Shohei.
Could be his last chance.
Yeah, it really could. Bryce getting up there, man, which is incredible. He's been around a long time.
I know he has, for sure.
He was a catcher when he started.
Well, there you go. Some baseball talk today. Wow.
Yeah, it's some baseball
opening
talk.
Week, right? It's good.
I love opening week. It's the best, dude. Baseball. And then by, June, I'm going to be sad because, the Jays are, I have.
Well, you might not be sad because your Washington Capitals in the other sport might just be celebrating come June.
We never
got to be the favorites right now, no question about it. Anyway, let's break and let's have our couch potatoes.
Yes. We'll take a break, come back with the couch potatoes. We'll see what we've dug up out of the couch cushions next here on Instigating. Wrapping things up on Instigating with Clarkey and Drury, and a great chat throughout the sports world. Baseball preview, chatting about the Leafs, Wesleyan College, obviously, our buddy Caleb Cameron, former Listowel Cyclones.
So much fun.
One of the best guys ever. And you can see it. I mean, the effort he puts into growing hockey down south.
Does he have his own podcast?
Gretzky. He should. He should. You see it here. He's
this one's the best for sure. But like, if he wants to, in 10 years get a little bit better than us, then that's fine.
But he's the type of guy that could host like a motivational, like coaching podcast.
What a great speaker, good guy.
He's one of the best guys ever. One of the best guys ever. Love Caleb, and I know people here in Southern Ontario are gonna be excited.
Sounds like a busy guy, and that's good. Anyway, let's get to. We got some
absolute
beauty. We talked about the Blue Jays.
Couch potatoes, yeah. What do you got on deck?
Well, I think the Blue Jays stink this year, and it goes hand in hand.
They're your couch potato?
No, but something else that's stinky is my couch potato this week. Remember this guy, Pepe Le Pew?
Oh, I know what's happening.
You know the first voice of Pepe Le Pew? Mel Blanc.
I know it's Mel Blanc. Yeah.
I think it's Blanc.
It's Mel Blanc. Yeah. And he did like a ton
French?
of the Looney Tunes voices.
I always knew him as Mel Blanc. Anyway, so it's not Pepe, but it is a skunk. Now, producer Adam, roll it in. This is live video. This is live video of our producer Adam coming home one night.
Oh God!
And if you watch the bottom portion of your screen, you are going to see a little. Are they a varmint?
Say hello to my. I don't know. Are they a varmint? They're a rodent.
There it is. Okay, now it's spotted. Adam had to go back in the vehicle, and there was a little movement. Now Adam's getting out again, and watch the deck. Here it comes. It's going to jump up on the deck.
From the left side.
There he is.
There he is.
Adam, I've never seen Adam, and I've never, ever seen Adam move faster in my life.
Oh, my God, dude.
He moved faster than...
he was
Ricky
Usain
Henderson
Bolt.
stealing second
He was
base.
Usain Bolt right there. Ricky taking second.
Wow.
Adam was in full motion.
He was
Thank
in
you
full
for the
motion.
credits on that.
You know what?
Moving
Skunks
back.
are supposed to be good. Skunks are supposed to be keeping snakes away, keeping rats away.
They
supposed to be good. However, Sandy, I wish Sandy was around because she's had.
No,
she's
did she get sprayed?
Oh no, not lately, but she's been sprayed about 3 times. Yeah, about 3 times. There she is. Look at her. She, right on cue. Sandy's there.
Knows.
He knows.
You said the word skunk, and Sandy had a dramatic flashback. Yeah, it was like a Vietnam flashback in a movie or something.
Exactly.
Sandy,
So Sandy's been
poor
sprayed
Sandy.
a few times, and it's
they are
awful.
good. They are good for the environment. They keep a lot of road mice and stuff because they're
terrible.
omnivores.
You don't want to get
they
sprayed.
stink,
I remember
dude.
walking into the variety store. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Sandy's sprayed. Do not use tomato juice. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
Here's
that's
the
an
trick,
old wives' tale.
There's a couple of tricks, just a little PSA.
Yeah.
Never get them wet with water if they've been sprayed by a skunk. Never. That's the worst thing you can do. Coca-Cola. Pour Coca-Cola on them first, and then do a concoction of Dove detergent, like liquid soap, peroxide, and baking soda. Gone.
There it is.
Gone.
Right there.
I remember walking into that variety store, and the owner looked at me, and he was like, "Did you get sprayed by a skunk?" I said, "No, but it's all
my
over
dog
my hands."
did. Yeah,
and we had to rip carpet out of the
worst.
house.
Yeah,
that was actually my other dog. We had to rip the carpet out for. But
well,
anyway,
luckily,
those skunks are my couch potato this week. Stay away, skunks.
Yeah, I thought you were going to make it producer Adam for escaping.
No. I'm not making producer Adam our couch potato.
I like
if he was on the couch, he would have got sprayed.
That's right. That's a good point. He was alert. He got away.
That's right.
That was good. I have to confess too quickly before I share my couch potato. Yeah. I have to confess, I'm a big hate spiders. Yeah. I'm a huge arachnophobe. Skunks are right there, man. I'm scared of skunks.
For sure. Everyone is.
And I'm not scared of getting sprayed. That's part of it. I'm just scared of them in general. There was one that made a den under our shed when I was a little kid, and my uncle came over to help my dad trap it, and the sound it made really made me upset. If they're pissed off, they make this yowling.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Don't piss off a skunk. And if they start pounding their feet, that's That's the next.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Get out of there.
The next thing is the spray. Anyway,
I'm terrified of them.
Andy
Dude. I
hasn't
hate
figured
skunks.
that out.
Really quick, that's a good couch potato. Really
Thank
quick,
you.
mine, more of an emotional one here, obviously. The Guelph Storm season coming to an end. I'm going to miss doing play-by-play in the OHL, miss the playoffs. They're going to have an opportunity.
Were they the worst team in the league?
No, Peterborough was, but Guelph was second. And
good.
The rebuild is on. I know they're going to come back stronger, but at the end of every year, it's always sad. You got to say goodbye to the overage players. And Adam put it up. These three guys are always so much fun to deal with on my Storm podcast that I do for the team. Eye of the Storm. Left to right, that's Jake Karabela, hometown boy. He's from Guelph, got drafted by the Storm, played all 4 years with his hometown team, got to live at home. Middle there, that's Max Namestnikov. Absolute beauty. Vladislav Namestnikov's little brother of the Winnipeg Jets. Jake's heading to Ohio State, the Ohio State University in the NCAA. Max is going to Bemidji State. And on the right there's the Warrior, Ryan McGuire. That kid did everything and more for the team. I loved dealing with these three kids. They were the absolute best, and we're going to miss them in the Royal City for sure. So that's my couch potato. Kick your feet up, boys. Fantastic OHL careers. Loved dealing with you every night at the arena. All right, that's it, Clarkey.
That's
Great
it.
show.
Another one.
Make sure you cash in on all my baseball predictions. Thanks to Caleb Cameron for coming on here. And remember, you can watch this show Friday nights at 8, Sunday nights at 9 with our friends on Whiteman TV. That's channel 6 for Whiteman subscribers, debuting on our YouTube channel Friday nights at 9. Follow us on social media at Instigating Pod and find the podcast version on all your favorite apps. That's Clarkey. I'm Drury. We'll be back next week with more Instigating.
Stay away from the skunks.